Hi, it's Mark Wood here, and at the moment I'm in a place called Namche Bazaar, which is 3,500 meters up in the Himalayan mountains. And as you can see at the moment, it's dark, unfortunately, but there's white, beautiful mountains behind us, and it's a perfect area to rest before we head up to Mount Everest. IGGY Members, I'm proud to represent you out here in the Himalayas on this great expedition, and follow the journey. Follow our journey up to Mount Everest and back home again, and send messages of support and be a part of our expedition.
Hi Mark, my question for you is, what is it about exploring you enjoy?
Okay, thanks for that question, Isabel. Good question that is, because you've got to have fun, and sometimes as a grumpy 46-year-old I don't have fun, and I need people on the team to make sure that I'm I enjoy the moment. But what I think it is, and truly and honestly, it's that time when I sit down and I look around the Arctic and I hear the silence, the deafening silence of the Arctic. And it's when I sit down on the side of a mountain and I look around and I see the gods of the mountains around me, and I also look at other team members and how their mouths are open at looking at these fantastic things. And I think that's what it is. It's the moment in time that you take out to understand where you are.
Surely everything is explored by now, so what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, for me, I think because of the changing environment of the planet and how the world has changed over the last 100 years, which is a very short space of time that human beings have actually been here as well, I think we're actually stepping back into the unknown, especially in places like Antarctica, the Arctic, and also Mount Everest itself. The environmental issues that we have are so important, not just to ourselves, but to how the planet actually lives and breathes and survives. So explorers nowadays are facing new challenges, if you like. So it's every time I go on an expedition, it's a first for me. So that's quite incredible, really.
On all of your expeditions, has there been a particular site or view that has struck you the most?
Yeah, there has. That's a good question by Jessica there, about is there anything stuck out in my mind, I suppose, about being on particular expeditions. And I suppose with a polar expedition, it has to be the polar bear. When you travel through these incredible places on the planet, if you go through these ice fields and you're working with a team, as soon as a polar bear turns up, whether it's 200 meters away or even more, it just changes the expedition completely. And it makes you understand that you're not the most important being there at the time. This is the polar bear is the symbol of the Arctic region. Now if you're working in these sort of areas, where we've been working, I'd say it's the mountains. Every corner that you take, you see these incredible, beautiful mountains, and then you look above the clouds and then you see mountains stretching above the clouds as well. It's just completely awe-inspiring. I've been here about 10 times to the same region, and sometimes I walk around the corner on a trail and it takes my breath away. And this is why really I explore. So the question is basically why I explore, and it's for moments like that, really.
The biggest fear that I have on expedition, I have two fears really. One is about my own personal fear of giving in when it's a very tough situation. So on Mount Everest, it's going to be very easy to turn back rather than continue. So that's an inner fear that I always have, and I think that's healthy. The second fear is the fear of the unknown. So again, with Everest, it's heading above 7,500 meters, stepping into the death zone where your body starts closing up. And it's that fear of not knowing how you're going to cope in that situation.
Hi Mark, how do you push yourself beyond the physical limits and carry on even when the odds are against you?
Okay, so through, over the last sort of 10 years, I've done some quite hard expeditions, solo expeditions, taking teams out into the extremes of the planet. And sometimes it gets very, very tough. And what I've done is learn to focus on an expedition a good few weeks before I actually leave. And then my body and my mind refocuses when I'm actually in the zone. So when it comes to the real tough side of the expedition, like reaching the South Pole or reaching the top of Everest, then I'm completely focused into that moment. And the area going up, what I'm going to have in the next few weeks, is heading above 7,000 to 8,000, which is the death zone. And that's when the body starts closing down, you get less oxygen, and the body's confused basically. And when you're in that situation, your mind takes over, and you need that mental strength to get you to the end goal. But not only that, you need that mental strength to get you back into safety again. So I think it's through experience.